Bluebird on your shoulder is back for another fun and exciting episode of Trumplandia fucking shit place. So definitely a calmer week than the prior, right? Calmer week, which
Really?
doesn't mean a lot in this reality, but a calmer week. So I would like to kick off today in the weird one where we've declared a non-international armed conflict with all cartels.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, because of I don't know if it was the internal or external pressure on blowing up Venezuelan fishing boats, that might have caused that. But we're still, oddly enough, blowing up fishing boats with no proof that there's actual anything.
They haven't
How are you going to
released
have the proof
any
when you
proof
blow it
on
up? It's
any of them.
gone.
Well, if you do have proof, the proof is from an American intelligence, which anyone who lived through Iraq War knows that's not reliable.
Right.
Um, so I just don't understand, it's definitely justifying military strikes and detention powers. So he had to do something because he's facing quite a lot of pressure across the board, right? Like you got to, because you can't kill people without a trial. Like that's
Well,
not the American way.
and the Colombian president just said that the last strike that they did may have been Colombians that they killed.
Oh, really? So maybe
Mhm.
not even Venezuelans.
Yep.
But then there's the other part. Like I thought that they liked the Venezuela guy. Like I thought MAGA and the Venezuela guy were. Is that not him?
Well, he's a dictator that calls himself a socialist, and so Trump has said some pleasing things about him, but that's also the Republicans go to for an example of why socialism won't work. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
who's the guy they really like in Central South America? I can't remember if it's Central or South. I know it's not Brazilian Bolsonaro. I know they liked him. Um,
yeah,
but there's a guy who, where were we sending the fucking immigrants to? That guy. Where was that detention center at? Or the
um,
jail, the prison?
Was it in
that's a lot.
Guatemala?
Oh
No.
shit.
El Salvador.
El Salvador, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's the guy we like. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. So okay. We don't like the Venezuelan, we like the El Salvadorian. Got it. Okay.
Well, he doesn't I'm the Venezuelan dictator. He just, like I said, they're they're aligned with Russia and China, so they're, right now he can't be friends with them.
That's right. They're a member of BRICS.
Right.
Yeah, they're a member of BRICS. That's true too. Really interesting there. So I knew. Oh, that's why we don't like them, but we do like them, but we don't like them.
Exactly.
And then I know, speaking of dictators, because you brought that up, I know Kim Jong-un talked some shit about him in the last week, and he got all butthurt about, I've been so nice to him. I don't know why he would talk shit about me. Like that's almost pretty much what he said. I don't know what shit Kim Jong, I think he called him fat. So which that's really interesting coming from Kim Jong Un because he's a little chubby motherfucker too, bro, out here looking like a oompa.
Mhm.
So what a weird world we're living in.
Yeah.
So very very Twilight. Pivoting to off slight Trump. Because I've just found this to be super interesting and we've never brought it up and it just crossed my mind for some reason. So we got good pictures of the Three-Eye Atlas comet. Um,
The
when it
what?
passed Three-Eye Atlas comet. You don't know what Three-Eye Atlas is?
Uh-uh.
Hmm. So there's an interstellar object that's interstellar.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
yeah. So it passed Mars
Yep.
on the third, and we actually got really good pictures of it. And they've now increased there's a Harvard guy. He's a leading expert in like astrophysics and phenomena, things like comets, right? He increased his probability that this is actually alien technology to 80%.
Really?
After the pictures. It doesn't release the gases it's supposed to release. It
Mhm.
has forward projection gases instead of a true tail. It's changed its trajectory twice. And now, as it's approaching the sun and we're about to lose sight of it completely for 3 months, it's slowing down.
And none of that can be explained by the
Not any
uh,
science we've ever known.
and whatnot.
No. So it's instead of releasing tons of carbon and things that it's used to, it's releasing nickel.
Yeah, but we can't really say much about that because it's coming from outside of our solar system, so it's not really so like composition wise and stuff like that. It doesn't match anything else like a comet or anything else that we've seen so far. It's one of the only
One of three.
bodies that we've
Interstellar.
seen.
Yep, one of
Yeah.
three. So
So
just really interesting, right? It
yeah,
also comes from originated from I forget which star system, but it's the star system where we've gotten the random radio bursts from
yeah,
that they can't explain. So I'm not saying it is alien tech,
sure,
right? I'm just saying this is probably some of the most interesting shit I've seen.
yeah. Oh, I'm
And
hoping it's aliens.
me too. Come get him.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So do the
Help,
test, bro.
help.
Help, help. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it popped in my head while we were doing this. I don't know why it popped in my head, but like I haven't talked about it on here at all. And I've been
Mhm.
following it religiously for like months.
Yeah, I've been
Since
keeping up on it, but
so
I
because
forgot the
it's
name of it.
yeah, it's pretty dope. So like we might actually have some alien technology taking pictures. So they wouldn't be surprising. The closest one it came to was Mars because when it was launched, it's very possible that that's where we lived.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So
if you're using technology that we have to evaluate where people are in or where possible life is in the Goldilocks zone, Mars and Earth are both in that range where life could happen. So
yeah, and there's a lot of proof coming out of Mars that we were probably there first. Um, so maybe Elon will go, because he's definitely turned back to the far right. So yeah, but yeah, that's my little like breakaway from the politics for a minute. So we did talk about did we talk about Comey getting indicted last week, or did that happen right after
that
this?
hadn't happened yet, I don't think. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
they
they didn't go ahead.
not only did they indict him, but they also had an initial hearing and he pled not guilty, and accused it of being a politically motivated um, charge.
So I think it's really interesting. So it was
And the
uh,
judge set the trial date for January of like 6 years ago.
Oh yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Um,
That's interesting. That would be when it happens.
No, 6 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when the charge supposedly. So they were just about to hit the 5 year statute of limitations on the charges they hit them with.
They'll get
So,
dropped.
uh, so it's
It
really,
won't ever happen.
I do believe that. So I know the prosecutor, the federal prosecutor, is very new to her position. And she was the DOJ. She was wop wopped. I know when they filed the charges, Comey's stepson, not stepson, son-in-law quit, who was a DOJ prosecutor. I know that a lot of the DOJ prosecutors have openly come out and been like, "Yeah, there was nothing here."
Yeah, there was somebody else that just
including the
resigned this
one that
morning
was
too.
The special prosecutor that they had, what was that? Brennan Bowman.
Brennan.
It was Brennan. It was him. He came out and openly was like, "This is horse shit,"
Yeah.
because he investigated that during his investigation. He's like, "There's nothing here."
Yeah.
Was he the one that
And
resigned this morning?
no, could have.
There was somebody,
Um,
I'm pretty sure it was this morning or yesterday morning, resigned
it is
that
really
was in the
interesting
DOJ.
that a lot of the DOJ was like, "Yeah, you couldn't." It had no support even from Bondi.
Yeah.
Like
I think I saw that yesterday. Somebody from the DOJ resigned.
a lot of people are resigning because it's horse shit.
They don't want to get caught up in
Um,
the bullshit and then
no,
they
end
don't
up
want
risking their career, their freedom.
Yep.
I think it's
Well,
the
plus
second part.
most of these people that have careers in law enforcement and criminal justice and even in the government, these people do it because they want to help the world, not they're not politically motivated, so they do have a sense of honor and dignity that guides their
Yeah.
principles.
Well, and they
So
also
yeah,
know what the law says and doesn't say, and at the end of the day, they're there in that position to enforce the law.
Right. And if they don't feel like they can do that, then they might as well go somewhere else.
Right.
yeah. So we also filed charges on Letitia James
Yep.
for mortgage fraud, which isn't real from what I understand. I
Um,
haven't looked at the
actually,
details
was
of
it
that
a mortgage
case.
fraud? Because I think I saw that they decided that it was
It
bank.
was one of the exact same charges that he got in New York.
Yeah.
Well, she was the Attorney General of New York, or she is the Attorney General of New York.
Yeah.
So it's the same prosecutor though that oversees that district that brought the charges on both of them, and she's obviously a little lapdog who doesn't want
Yeah.
a future because she's young too. So she's a little lapdog that doesn't want a future. But here is the cycle I've seen where the 3-4 weeks preceding this, the chatter out of the right wing talking bobbleheads on your government state sponsored Twitter,
Mhm.
was very like, we need this to happen. None of this has happened. It's been this many months. We have no charges against anybody. We want vengeance. We want justice. We want this. And then he gets in his little, Big Mac fueled rage and starts scrolling the little tweeter. And then
Yeah.
he's like, oh, yeah, we do need to do that because these
Yep.
people make my Pepe big, Steve. So it's a really interesting thing that he's chasing these down. So we're declaring a war on everybody yet nobody. Um, we've declared Antifa a terrorist organization, or that's not the technical. Yeah,
Yeah.
terrorist organization.
Most
Except
organizations
for
that they're
we're still
qualifying as just as bad as Hamas and Hezbollah and
Yeah.
I'm looking for the office though. Like, where do they like? Are they in a cave in Afghanistan too,
probably they're
or like
renting
where?
space from the Taliban.
Right. Um, he's deployed National Guard now to Illinois and Oregon. So
Yeah.
Chicago and Portland
Judge just
specifically.
put a halt on the Illinois deployment.
Okay, so
Um,
I knew there was 2 court cases active, so put a halt. Um, I know Portland, a judge had already put a halt on it and said he
put a
couldn't use
halt on
it.
it, but then today, somebody gave them a procedural win. They can't deploy yet, but they like paved a way for
Well, I knew
the
originally he
DOJ to
deployed
get it.
Oregon, and
Hmm?
then the judge said you couldn't deploy Oregon's National
Right.
Guard. So then he deployed California and Texas.
Yeah,
And then the Texans in Chicago are about to fuck around and find out that Chicago is not Texas.
they are.
And Chicagoans ain't having it. So there's a lot of businesses when ICE approaches, they're locking their doors and not letting them in and demanding a warrant. There's restaurants will not serve them. Um,
Latin Kings are running them up out of the hood.
Yeah, Latin Kings are
Have
running
you?
them out of the hood. Tow trucks are towing their cars when they're
Yeah.
parked in the middle of the street. It's like you're in Chicago now, which I knew if they were going to really go there and try to get active. Like Chicago is Chicago. It's Chirac. Like
Yeah.
like what you doing, dude? This isn't anywhere else. This isn't LA, even LA or New York. This is Chicago. These are Midwestern blue collar gangsters. Like it's a little bit different. So I found that to be really, really, really interesting.
And they care about their neighborhoods and the people that are in them, which is why those gangs were developed.
Right.
Right.
And you're coming into their territory, taking their people, they ain't having it.
Right. So now Trump, in response to all the pressure, is threatening to use the Insurrection Act.
Yep.
Which would give him the right to deploy. However, where's the insurrection? Like I know people in Portland, some business related people. They're like, yeah, there's this little section where stupid kids are being stupid kids, and
Yeah,
it's
with
kind of
their
crazy.
inflatable dinosaurs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but
Yeah.
it's not by any means that, I mean, it was much worse during, the Summer of Love, when they
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
took over a whole section of the fucking city. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now that maybe you could have declared that. So, but we're gonna do that now, and we're gonna call the Insurrection Act, and then waiving. That's the other thing. So we've waived environmental protections at the same time, so we can continue to build the wall, in New
I mean, that's
Mexico.
not very surprising from that party, though.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty good with geography, just because they waived it for the wall in New Mexico. Is there any part of the Mexican border that actually touches New Mexico? Because I don't think there is. I think Arizona and Texas touch New Mexico.
No, there's part of it because I know
I thought there was a
there
part,
there's part of
but
California
that
that is
little,
like,
that
Oh
little
no,
part,
I know there's definitely a part of California that touches it, but
no,
I
there's
just
like that little bottom left, like,
where it does a little weird thing.
yeah, where it juts down, isn't it?
Okay, hold on. I'm
Let's
about
see.
to look at a map. I'm about to look at a
Yeah,
map.
I'm looking
yeah,
right
I'm
now.
pretty sure New
Oh, you're right.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is. Right by El Pat. No, wait. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's a little section down
Yeah,
there by El Paso. So, or is that?
no, it's actually a decent amount. Talking probably what, 500 miles? No, not quite 500 miles.
I don't know. That looks like Texas to me. Maybe that's Mexico, Texas. Okay, yeah, it's a decent. You're right. It's decent. I don't have miles on this, but
yeah, it's
it's
definitely a border
it
state.
starts. Yeah, it starts just west of El Paso and goes all the way until the Arizona border. So, that's a good time. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense then, because I was like, does New Mexico touch Mexico? I wasn't really good at geography. Like, I never got all the states right and stuff. That was never my strong suit. So, then we've done a lot of symbolic things.
Yeah,
A lot of like red herring shits. So we've reinstated Columbus Day, instead of Indigenous Peoples Day.
right.
Um, so that's all straight up fucking whoop whoop. And then he's
That's
spotlighting
a
the
bunch
case
of
of,
who cares because nobody probably even realized that it was ever changed.
yeah, and
No,
then
I
he's
mean
spotlighting.
it was definitely a talking point for the a rallying cry for the white nationalists. They sure didn't like the, having taking things away from the man who found America, the white man
That's
that
it.
found him.
That's
All those jokes about
yeah.
like rediscovering something or claiming that you discovered something that people, have known about or
We're already living here.
yeah.
Um, you discovered something that people were already living in. It's a
You
very
mean the day
interesting
that people
concept.
got lost at sea and
Yeah, that's true
stumbled
too.
upon some land?
Killed a bunch of people,
Yeah,
pillage and
had,
murder.
had turkey, called it Thanksgiving.
That's an interesting reality when you get older and you find out what that was really all about. Uh,
Right.
so, but then you brought up this, which I think this is really interesting. So we talked about the Hegseth homecoming speech, um,
Jesus.
in Quantico last week. So in this week, I have seen a vast amount of people who I've known to be mega supporters in the military on Twitter be like, that was a fucking bridge too far.
Yeah. Good.
Like now you're you want them to not follow their oath.
Yep.
And we ain't doing that. And there's a lot of older veterans who have overwhelmingly been against him, that are openly saying those leaders definitely need to be having what do we do and do we need to coup him conversations.
Yeah.
And there's
Well,
one
and
guy.
And
There's some
like I was talking about, I think that what we're gonna see is a whole lot of stonewalling when it comes to them handing down illegal orders and these generals and leaders just slow rolling out and then just not executing at the last moment. I think that that's going to be the overwhelming response that we're going to see. But we, like I shared with you guys earlier, we're having naval commanders that are already being ousted. We had about 5 generals that announced their retirement after Quantico. So there's a lot happening where different leaders are approaching their response in different ways.
I think that's really true. I'm not going to put it out there openly, but I do watch a military based podcast a lot.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know a ton, but I know this dude really has connections. Like I know some of the people he's had on and what their jobs are and the type of operators he brings on to talk to, who are all retired operators, but
Sure, sure.
the level of operator they are, and he definitely knows them personally.
Hmm.
He himself is very open about the level of operator he was.
Hmm.
So he was Delta Force.
Hmm.
So which everyone knows the SEALs. Not a lot of people know Delta, and Delta is definitely up there. So typically, if the SEALs get in trouble, Delta's who goes and gets them.
Yeah.
So if you've watched Black Hawk Down, you'll have a good
Oh,
sign of what Delta operators do. So Delta's definitely a group of special forces not to be fucked with. Um,
Those guys were my heroes, that's for sure.
yeah, so he definitely has on, I forget, they talk about the MOS. I can't remember what it is, but it's a Marine MOS that didn't actually exist until like '08. And it came about, it's basically elite Marine recon.
Yeah.
So like upper echelon special operative Marine recon who work with Delta
are
and
you
SEALs.
sure it was that late? Because there's a movie
Yeah.
Delta Force from like the
No, no,
late
no, no,
'80s,
no,
early
not Delta.
Not
'90s.
This
Delta.
is this is the
He's
Marine
yeah,
MOS.
he's talking
Okay,
Yeah, so it's a
Delta's our army.
yeah,
So
Delta's Army. So,
okay.
but I know these Marines, like he had one of them on, and he said a lot of you aren't going to know this. Like even if you know things, you're not going to know what this MOS is. But at the
oh
end of
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
day,
I watched that one.
all of the special operatives wouldn't fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
So like this is the elite Marine, which is a whole different level of psychopath. So
But
Yeah.
Tui
so
with
he
his
was on,
pinky.
but anyways, the moral of the story is he said his connections are basically saying that the rumor and the talk and the whispers are that he's getting very, very close to the invisible line in the sand. And that if he crosses that invisible line in the sand, the military will respond.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
because
the,
once you put them in the position to truly choose whether they're going to go with their oath or they're going to go with you, they're not going to go with you.
yeah,
They know that their responsibility is to the Constitution and the people.
exactly.
So that gave me some hope that, and he definitely started. I've been watching him for a long time. He was definitely pro Trump for a long time. And this particular time around, he's gone the other way. There was
Well,
actually
and a lot of guys my age, they were brought in as military Republicans. So when you came into the military, you learned that the Republicans are where the war hawks were. That's where your funding came from. So you were automatically inducted as a Republican when you came into the military. Then
no, that can't be true because the Democrats are war hawks now, and parties don't switch. Party shift doesn't happen.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but this was also before the turn of the century.
No, no, party shift doesn't happen. It's not real.
So,
Democrats own slaves. Party shift isn't real. It doesn't
right,
happen.
right.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to tell me the Republicans used to be the war hawks, and now it's the
Oh, they
Democrats.
still
That
are. I mean, they're
that's
the ones that
actually
doubled their
that's
freaking the budget.
that's the
So,
counterpoint I quite often use when people say party shift doesn't happen. I say, so who's pro-war party now? Democrats or Republicans? They're like, oh, easily the Democrats. And I go, who was pro-war in the '90s?
yeah.
Democrats or
I
Republicans?
mean,
Oh,
even
it's
even
definitely
all the way up
they'll
until
but
Obama.
they'll answer it, right? And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, definitely the Republicans." They'll be like, "Oh, so party shifts do happen." They
Hmm.
get so fucking mad, then they block me.
Sure.
So, but anyway, the moral I'm coming to is it's good to hear that. I also follow, well, I don't follow, but I see there's a pretty prominent right wing Twitter person. She's been 3-time Trump voter, campaigned for Trump, uh, raises money for Trump, fundraises for Trump, has a massive following. And she just tweeted out the other day that you got to be a special person to make me do all of that and listed all of those accolades to now where I rip my Trump sticker off my bumper and I put one up that says fuck Trump.
Yeah,
So,
that's
because,
a big turn.
yeah, that's a huge turn. So, I do think that we're seeing, yeah, what? Yes. Yes, dude, she is on a whole, and you want to know why with her. So those are the ones that you can really, really. She's learned politics, and she knows
Yeah.
how important polling numbers
Yep. Yeah.
are. She's
She's
up
done
for
a hard
reelection.
pivot, that's for sure.
She's up for reelection next year,
Yep.
and the polling numbers are overwhelmingly showing her in super red district in Georgia she's in
Hmm.
is turning against Trump.
Yep.
So because you're fucking and that's isn't Georgia where the Korean is that where the Korean plant happened?
Yeah.
Where the ICE raided the Korea plant? Is
Yep.
that might be even be her district? Where now the Koreans are
Mm.
saying we're not opening the plant, we're pulling out.
Well, they're still gonna open, but they reduced their investment in the area by like $4 billion. So
And for poor rural white America, that's pretty
that's
big.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've seen her pivot too, right? So there's a lot of people who are like da da da, and then you have my favorite little cuck, fucking Steven. I look like a penis Miller.
Oh
Um,
Jesus.
so that dude, I've hated that dude since he was the fucking editor of the Duke newspaper.
Yeah.
Um, so he had his white nationalist tendencies back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but he came on TV and he said that the president had plenary authority,
Hmm.
and he said it and literally stopped talking because you just said the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
You said that you and the administration firmly believe he has ultimate authority over
Yep.
any and all things. And there's not a founding document in this planet that thought that. Not even the Articles in Confederation thought that.
Nope.
Not there isn't a Federalist
They
paper.
they were a
There
lot
the
more authoritarian than the Constitution, but even
yes
still,
no yeah the Federalist papers don't say that where they think the government should have all the power. They don't
yep.
even go that far. Like, there's no intelligent way that that's true. This motherfucker literally came on TV and CNN and then played pretend like there was technical difficulty.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that was hilarious, dude. That was, I can't, dude. I swear I'm not big on, the violence part of it, but I could watch somebody just rabbit punch him in the face for the rest of eternity and be fine.
Right.
Like, I cannot stand that tiny little fucking man.
He
So
is.
all MAGA has become not like the core, that base, those Stephen Miller types, like the hardcore nut jobs. Are you really that mad that nobody liked you in high school? Like, are
Yes.
you still that mad? Because the nerdy people in the Democrat Party who had the same problems you did, right? They didn't go that route. They went and got really well-paying jobs in Lamborghinis, so hot blondes and sleep with them. So like they went that route. So real fun stuff there. So we're definitely gonna jump into oh no, we can go government shutdown. We could do that
Yeah.
now. So the government is still shut down.
It is still shut down.
Um, More and more like you saw when your share MTG is fucking saying it's actually the Republicans' fault.
Yep.
It is the Republicans' fault. Like I said, the Democrats they're not gonna do it. And they're standing firm still a week later. And I said if we got a week from now and they're still firm, I'd be really happy with them. So I'm really happy with them that
Yep.
they're not going to vote on this. I have a feeling that CR is coming soon, and we're going to get a continuing resolution.
Yep.
So it will just be status quo of what we were at, and we're not going to do the new shit. I see that coming soon. If anything's going to happen, it's going to be that.
Right.
Which I could accept that, I guess. We've been running the government on CRs for like, I think the last like 17 years. So we won't actually do a new budget because nobody can agree with anything.
Yeah, we haven't had a balanced budget since Clinton.
No, that's factual, right? We haven't had a balanced budget, but
Not
we
a
actually
balanced
haven't.
budget, yeah.
But we haven't actually had a federal budget for 17 years because we just run on continuing resolutions.
Yeah,
so
they
we're
just
running on the
extended,
yeah. We just keep extending the one. We haven't wrote a new one because nobody can agree on anything anymore. So, but I do find it interesting that the Republicans keep saying, well, they want to give illegals health care and they want to give illegals this and they want to give illegals that, when the law clearly states that undocumented people do not qualify for these things.
Yeah, so I actually have I'll say family member who used to work for the state, so dealt with, Medicaid and all that. The other night we were leaving dinner and she was saying something about, because she's retired now, saying something about, well, I sure hope I don't lose my insurance, before they give it to the illegals. And I just stopped and I looked at her and I said, you of all people, seeing how you used to be a judge in that system that oversaw cases that got to your level, know better that that's just fundamentally incorrect.
Yeah.
It just further proves that they see whatever it is on Fox News and that's gospel.
Dude, the weird thing is even a lot of the Fox News statements, especially over the last 3 days, have overwhelmingly been stating that's not true.
Well, okay, that's
so here's the
this was a week. This was like right after.
So here's the only spin I've seen where there's so if an undocumented person goes to a community ran hospital, they do have to treat them. And
right, because it says, like you said last week, that we will take care of persons.
Anyone, right? But
it's no different than an American citizen who gets hit by a car and doesn't have insurance. We're still going to take care of them.
Sure. Medicaid doesn't pay for that.
Right.
And that's what they're trying to say, is that they do go to the hospital and the Medicaid pays for it.
No, right, yeah.
The hospital writes it off.
Yep. Yeah, it's a write-off, so it's a tax write-off. You know, but it has nothing to do with the Medicaid, Medicare system or any kind of insurance
even the
system.
Tax write-off, they're not getting the money from us. Our taxpayer funds don't go to tax write-offs.
Right.
They just don't have to pay the taxes on it.
Right.
So yes, an undocumented person can get medical care and not pay the taxes on it. But then I saw one the other day where it's like, well, when they give birth, blah, 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 that baby's an American, you idiot.
Yeah.
So the undocumented gave birth to an American. As soon as it pops out, it's American. It's in America. That's that thing. And then I actually saw something local up there. I mean, I know it's in the northwestern part of the state, so it's a little Chicago. But I guess ICE parked in the police parking lot, and the police chief and the mayor were all fucking mad. They're like, what the fuck? You can't park here without permission. And then I saw it on the book. And then I seen, of course, fucking weird people from Indiana. The federals have all the rights and they have all this and they have all that. And then I love to hit them with the most famous Republican talking point ever. They didn't teach civics in your high school.
States' rights.
But not only that, the Constitution clearly outlines, and it goes down to the local too. But one of them actually responded, actually, you're right. Okay, cool. The mayor can say that because yes, the mayor is the ultimate authority inside of this city, which the Constitution gives him that right.
Mm-hmm.
And no, the federals do not have jurisdiction over him. He has jurisdiction over them.
Yep.
I was the first time in a really long time where a Republican was just like, Actually, you know what? He probably wasn't MAGA. He probably was a Republican.
Yeah.
So fair enough. He was like, yeah, actually, you are right. It does do that. Yeah, the Constitution's the reason that they can say, no, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not their feeling. Another dude was like, well, it's just an opinion. When the fuck did opinions outrank facts? When exactly did that start?
That
About
was
10 years
that was
ago when he won the first time.
around 2003.
It's a weird thing. Like, okay, like which pasta is better is an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like what color crayon is the prettiest? That's an opinion.
Right.
Like, which girl is prettier? That's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? No, no. There's the fact, and then the opinion doesn't matter. Which brings me into other fun things. So the Nobel Prizes came out. He didn't get one.
Nope.
Oh, shocker. He's
Um,
trying to be like Obama.
yeah, but he didn't get one. So uh that happened and they came out and there's actually some really cool stuff. Some physicists won that actually made a finding
You froze.
about yes, the pettiest jealous gripe. I froze.
You both froze for a second. That was weird.
You
That's probably
froze.
because I was sharing screen at that point.
Yeah, see, he pushed buttons, dude, with his glasses on. He didn't
Nobody
make him
reads that
smarter.
shit.
They're not
Yeah.
glasses. It's my Alexa.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are those
Speaking
like
of Alexa, hold on. We got to pause. Speaking of Alexa, and I'm sure this is really no surprise if you understand technology,
There's
but
not
the
a lens in it.
so there's magazines like Business Insider and things like that. There's a Technology Insider that has officially stated that Alexa specifically, they have admitted, does listen in
well
on
yeah.
you.
Well,
There's
you can set it so that it actively listens, passively listens, or you can turn it completely off. So, but yeah, I mean,
interesting.
it of course it does. All
Well, yeah,
your
it didn't
phone
surprise.
listens to you.
Yeah,
There's no other way that Facebook can start putting shit in front of your face when you're having a conversation with somebody,
for the
unless it's
first time ever. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, there's all these ads
right.
about
Yeah. Yeah, like
going
right
to
now I can tell you,
Zimbabwe.
yeah.
Like,
So because I'm thinking about buying a new Speedo for the first time and in about an hour
Right.
I'm gonna see Speedo
only if
ads.
you wear it backwards.
Damn it. Now I'm gonna get that on my phone.
Yeah, I know that's why I did it. Welcome. You're welcome. So hot pink variety too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
So that's the kick. But yeah, it's they wanted like they figured out some new stuff about the immune system and they figured out why autoimmune diseases happen
Yep.
and like it was really interesting stuff. So like I like that kind of stuff a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the physiology Nobel was really interesting. The physics wasn't as interesting, but um
it's
I
about
still got
quantum
behind that.
mechanics.
And then I was waiting for today or no, actually the Peace Prize isn't announced until tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, he ain't gonna win it.
No.
And if he does, they're haters.
No.
So, but Pitt was using that to pivot into this. So he did get them to agree to a peace plan,
Okay,
supposedly.
so yeah, I
Uh,
mean
yeah, I knew you were gonna have
Sure.
some on this one.
all
So
right,
Gaza, Israel, go.
so like sure he finally bullied Netanyahu into coming to the table, but I think a lot of that had to do with the flotilla, the amount of international pressure, the fact that multiple UN countries declared that Palestine is a state. I think that finally was enough to get both Trump to put pressure on and Netanyahu to actually engage. Here's the thing: if you look at the wording, if you look at all of the wording surrounding all of this, the Israelis have worded it in such a way that Hamas almost can't follow through and will give them a reason to continue with
Yep.
hostilities. I just read something that said that they're going to require Hamas to completely disarm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know much about the Middle East, but that's just not going to happen.
Right.
you know, it's not like they have a whole lot left anyways. Most of their weapons and stuff have been destroyed by IDF anyways.
Well,
So
and how can you guarantee that that
exactly.
it's completely? You
Exactly.
can't.
There's no way to actually fulfill that demand, and so that will just give Israel the right to continue with their. And I shared with you guys earlier, if the Hamas violates, then they're going in twice as hard, twice as fast. So this is
Well,
just
just like there was another caveat in there that you're talking about where they had to return hostages and
within
people
48
had
hours.
died and all that. What you gonna let me go find his 10 toes and everything so that I make sure
So
that all of it was returned because
So
that's
I,
just
I
not
did read
happening.
up. I did read up today. 48 prisoners are still alive. And then they have remains of like it was in the teens, high teens. So that part has already been worked out. But yeah, they will use any excuse to deny
Yeah,
that
they'll find a
Hamas,
loophole.
came to the table honestly, which just shows how dishonest Netanyahu and them are. Um, so I think
You don't
that
say.
I don't think that this is anywhere near being done. I am seeing a lot of praise to Trump, like a lot of even who's that Democrat that is pro-Israel, like hardcore pro-Israel. He's singing Trump's praises right now, and and sure, I guess that if we need to freaking stroke his ego like a semi-flaccid orange, then I guess that's what we need to do in order to get the genocide to stop. But it's not something that I'm excited about.
Okay. I mean, I'm not excited either. So,
Well, like
because
they
like,
say, like it's step one. Like, okay, what are the other steps? Like,
well, what's left at this point?
right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's my
five
kick, right?
buildings and like
Like, what?
40,000
Yeah,
Palestinians.
yeah. Like, what's left, right? Like, what? There's nothing left. Like, it was a whole place, and now it's nothing. It's rubble.
Step
It's
Right.
two.
rubble and
Step
hollowed
well,
out
step two is to
buildings,
break
and
ground on the new Doral.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I was reading something about Jared being involved in kind of some of the infrastructure talks and things like that. And the initial agreement that uh, Rubio hammered out with Netanyahu did involve the U.S. coming in and helping to do the infrastructure rebuild on Gaza and the Strip. So I think that the original concerns about private equity trying to run in there and claim it all as a proxy for Israel is pretty evident.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't like these people. So they're the proxy part, right? I think that's the kick in the world, right? Like I don't I don't know why we continue to be friends with I will never understand the irony of it all. I hate to use that word, but that's literally the word. The genocided became the genociders.
Right.
And it's like I don't understand how people, well, most of the world sees it. Most of the world has openly admitted it.
Yeah.
But and I get it. They do. They own our media. They own our entertainment. They own our sports teams. They do. They own the what would can you consider the propaganda wing of America,
Yep.
right? Like, they own most of that, or they're highly influential in all of that. Except for Taylor Swift. Not a huge Taylor fan personally. The wife definitely is. But
I
she
mean,
owns
I
all
I
that
love her
shit.
just for what she stands for, but
Yeah.
yeah, like as far as music goes, I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
listen.
really my cup of tea, right?
Yeah.
So, but she, at least she like stands up, right? She does. She stands up. Like, I'm not allowing this. I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm not. I think this is bullshit. And they don't own her music. She owns her music.
Right.
Right.
A lot of metal bands, like I'm really into metal and rock and roll. A lot of those bands aren't those record labels aren't owned by Israel. You
Yeah.
know, almost all the pop record labels are owned by Israel, one way or the other. A lot of the hip hop's also owned by Israel. Um, so it's just it's. I get why we do it, but at what point are we going to stop? And I think that's what. So I think that's a big thing. Some of the bigger right wing influencers I'm seeing leave. They're a part of it is Israel. They're not
Some
happy
of that
about
is
it.
they're anti-Semitic because
Well,
they're
it's not so much that it's they didn't want more war. They did not want more war, let alone fund more war.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were like, we don't want to continue the war thing, and now we're gonna fund war. Like that's a thing. Like that's a we're gonna do that. Like
I'm
I
still seeing
don't
a lot of right wingers, well, your base level, your parrots out there still talking about sending funding over to countries for them just to wage war, but the main perpetrator is Israel.
interesting. Okay, the main perpetrator is Israel. That's fuck Israel. No. So I'm not like that, right? Like
Well,
you
here's
know,
here's my biggest thing. I hate the fact that I constantly have to qualify the fact that I am not talking about the Jewish people. I I have no beef with anybody because
Religion.
of their Jewish faith. What I do have a problem with is the state of Israel. Fuck them because they are committing genocide, you know? And the soldiers you know, that are following through on those illegal orders, those Geneva Convention illegal orders, they're guilty and they need to be held to account. So, and same with Israel as a state, they need to be held to account. America needs to be held to account for the part that they've played in supplying those weapons and supplying, aid to Israel while they've been committing genocide.
no. Can't
That's all
be
I had.
doing that. So aren't we close to the did we just come over? Is that today? Was today the 1 year?
2 year,
It's been 2 years?
2 years.
Has it really been 2 fucking years?
Yep.
Fuck, dude, I'm getting old, dude. Time moves so fast now.
I know.
So, do you remember when we were young and they used to tell us that this shit would happen and we didn't fucking believe
I
it?
And don't
For
slow
real,
down,
dude,
man.
because what, like 4 months in a, like while we were 17 took like 15 years. So
Not for me, or definitely for me. I was in that spot though. That place sucked.
Said
So
having
when I
dinner with
was
mom and dad for my birthday last week. Dad was talking about how he turned 73 in August, and he was like, I was just telling your mom, he's like, where did all the years go?
yeah.
for real though, like whoop whoop goes the fucking scoop, dude.
Yeah.
So really crazy. I don't know, dude. I'm over it, that's for sure. 10 out of 10. I'm 10 out of 10 over it. So getting old sucks.
Yeah. Do not
Uh
1 out of 10. Do
getting old,
not recommend.
yeah, getting old and sleeping really sucks. You got to put your pillows right, or you're not going to fucking move your head for a day.
Yeah.
Icy hot is your friend.
Cramped airplanes really suck.
I bet for people who
But
are 6'4".
I did, yeah, I upgrade. So I ain't sitting in those seats. I'm sitting in the exit rows where
I don't
nobody can
blame
lean
you.
back on me and there's more room because people have to get out the door.
I don't
And
blame you. I'm only 5'10" and I feel cramped.
so we want to know why I really started sitting in exit rows? Like those were advantages, don't get me wrong, but it was never originally enough. but I started sitting close to exit routes, right? Upgrading, slightly. And the people right by the door, I was pretty sure couldn't get the fucking door open if they needed to get the door
Yeah.
open. Like, I'm not saying I got anything against 80-year-old Betty, but I'm pretty sure 80-year-old Betty cannot lift 50 pounds of dead weight.
No.
And quickly. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to be that guy who, in that moment, should it ever come, I got to throw Betty the fuck up out the way.
Yep.
So, because I promise you, I'm throwing Betty out the way. So now I just take that seat. You want to know why? Because I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I remember one flight not too long ago. I was the only one in any exit route, and they have to come and get the verbal from you.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Are you going to be able?" I was like, "Honey, not only am I going to get this one, I'm going to get these three too. I'm going to get all of them. We all getting out of here."
Yep.
So if we got to go, we got to go. But no, yeah, that's a fun little pivot fact. But the reason I brought it up is I was looking at travel warnings on this flight. Like, I was bored in the airport and travel warning popped up, and I was like, where am I going that there would be a fucking travel warning? I'm not leaving the country. And that's scary in itself. There might be travel warnings and I'm not
Right.
leaving the country. But no, it was if traveling. So somebody on the flight or the flight must have had a connection to Israel, which first flight was going to Atlanta. So that's very possible.
Yep.
But it was like you have to have some kind of special electronic permission to fly to Israel now. Like, because I think people are like flying in and starting shit. So like now, like through their what I don't know, some official sounding thing. But you had to have it, and I saw that, and I was like, well, if you stop genociding people, maybe you wouldn't have to do this.
True.
Well, because the reason is because Israel officially declared war. And so when you have a state that declares war or they're in an armed conflict, then the State Department has warnings and additional steps that you need to take in order to be approved to be able to fly into those states. Um, one thing that I just saw was that Trump is thinking about telling China that they can't fly over Russia to come to the US. Yeah, I just read that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that one to me is even more interesting because it's not like they're, gonna, you know, be in a Mission Impossible movie where, another plane joins up from Russia and, has a bunch of people load up on there or
I
something. So,
well, isn't a vast majority of the super populous Chinese cities on their eastern coast, their eastern side?
yeah, but you got to remember that in order for them to fly to certain areas, the arch that they take is to the north over Russia airspace, and then it comes back down into the
Because
US.
they come over the top.
No, they don't go straight over the top, but it has to do with uh the curvature of the earth. If you go from here to here, you're
Flat.
going this far, but if you go from here to here, then you're going less far because of the curvature of the earth.
It's flat.
Because
Fuck off. It's fucking Kyrie Irving. Fuck
Oh,
off.
Jesus.
Look at the picture behind you, asshole. It's not fucking flat. That was actually pretty humorous. Now that I realize.
Well, and if it was flat, wouldn't you be able to see the sun all the time?
no, there's some kind of blockage or something
No,
where
because the sun isn't real. It's on like a spinny thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. So there was many moons ago. I'd spent a lot of time at a buddy of mine and doing nefarious things. Imagine that. And he had a decent friend who came over to partake in nefarious things, and he was definitely a theorem. Like, he's a theorist, bro. And me and this dude would have some interesting fucking conversations. Um, so he hit me with the Earth is flat, like conversation number 10. And I said, bro, we can't get into this right now because I'm not versed. Well, I spent the next week getting versed. And I went all the way down all their rabbit holes and damn it. Fuck, it was painful.
Yeah.
Um so
The
then
amount of logic that you have to suspend in order to be able to
all of it.
walk through those halls is
All of it. But I did, right? Because I like to, try to help people. So we were there the following week and I was like, okay, let's go. And he bullet pointed after bullet pointed, and I had walked down every bullet point, and I counted every bullet point with science, every single one of them. Like, made it to an elementary school. You know what I'm saying? This dude finally looked at me and said, "Yeah, but the only reason you think that's because they taught you that, but science isn't real. They created science so that you would believe that." And I said, okay, you know what, bro? I've enjoyed our conversations for we were having these conversations for years.
yeah.
I've enjoyed our conversations for years, but this is the point where we're done. Like we can talk about modern events or music or sports, but we're done with anything else because at the point you tell me science is fake, we're done.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I could possibly humanly say to you.
Augustus has a saying that we exchange quite often, and it goes something like, in order to have a meaningful discussion, an agreed upon vernacular has to be agreed upon beforehand in order for an understanding to be able to be reached between both parties and for effective communication. So and science is that language. And when you start talking to people that can't even speak a sentence in that language, then you know that the possibility of having a fruitful discussion is nil.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, and Tylenol.
Bro. So, but no, that was pretty much sums
Speedo.
up this week, right? Pretty much sums up. Yeah, he's gonna get the pink speedo. That pretty much it's me showing up on your fucking Facebook later. So we definitely got through another fun week. I would hope that the government does come to something this week, continuing resolution wise. Get the people back to work, give them their back pay. I always have to go because I'm leaving where I'm leaving. I always go to Miami Airport a couple hours early because TSA can be interesting down here with the drug dogs. So in general, they've never sent me an email telling me to get here a couple hours early because half of the TSA stations are shut down.
Well, yeah.
So I always do 2 or 3 hours early in general. I'm definitely going to do 5.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to hang out in an airport for a while tomorrow before my flight because I don't want to miss a plane because I can't get through TSA. It wasn't too bad leaving to come here, but I get on the 6 a.m. flight. So there's not shitloads of people at 4:30 in the morning.
One final note about the back pay. I don't even know. I mean, I do know why he said what he said because he doesn't fucking know. But it is actually federal law that they're required to give back pay.
Well, and he's talking about firing everybody and suspending any democratic program through the Fed. I mean,
he's a jack off.
It's just so stupid. Like he doesn't know how any of this works. And even though that he's going to have 8 years practicing and he's still going to walk away not knowing how any of this works.
Because like I've said for a long time, and I'll continue to say this, like go the fascism route. I don't think Trump is a fascist. I think Trump's too stupid to be a fascist.
No, I think
I don't think Trump realizes some of the people around him are definitely fascists.
Yeah.
Right? I like Stephen Miller. It's a fucking fascist. Steve Bannon will openly tell you he's a fucking fascist.
Yeah.
So I don't think Trump is smart. I have never thought Trump is smart. I think that Trump finds enjoyment in other people's pain.
Yep.
That's
I think that
100%.
I think that he takes pleasure in being a sick fuck.
I don't
To,
know that he takes
to
pleasure in it. I think that he is genuinely a sociopath that was
no, he's a
that
malignant.
never
You're
engaged in a life where he was exposed to real suffering. So he doesn't even know what it means, you know?
that's very
Um,
possibly true.
so I think you're right. I think that he's a tool that those who think that they can execute a shift in the way that America is run can use in a way that is effective in getting what they want out of it.
Yeah, because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So, and I
And
think
he's
you're
so
dead right.
easily manipulated. Like
Well,
we
yeah,
all know how to manipulate him. We could all easily get what we want from him if we could get, if we could bend
FaceTime.
his ear. But
Yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I really don't think Trump is a fascist. I don't,
yeah,
and I don't think most of MAGA are fascists because I don't think they can't define it. They've been asked numerous times, but I will say that most leftists can't define it either. And they get choked up on that conversation a lot. But we'll definitely end there. That the
agreed.
only reason I don't think Trump is a fascist because he's a fucking moron. So, but Stephen Miller can get fucked. But yeah, other than that, we'll hopefully have another good week. Hopefully we win our court cases. Hopefully Portland and Chicago push ICE all the way out. Like, go fuck around somewhere else because this ain't
Well,
it.
they won't be able to push ICE out, but they will be able to at least reject the National Guard um,
Ah, fucking
roaming
keep
their
towing their cars.
streets, you
Keep
know?
towing their cars. Push them out.
Right.
Take that shit. Put that shit in Lake Michigan. So but other than that, we will be back next week and it'll be very fun and it'll be very exciting. And this has been Bluebird on your shoulder.
Yo, Cubs.